Friendzies, welcome back to my channel. Today I actually have another Shark Tales for you. We have not done a Shark Tales in a while. I feel like the last one we did was February, March, and I thought that that was the last one I had at all. Those were like all my interesting stories. I thought I'd used all of my stories up. But I actually remembered one yesterday when my mom and I were out and about doing things. So this is the story of how I got a scholarship because I was funny. So, oh my god, it was like 5-6 years ago at this point. I was a senior in high school and we desperately needed money for college. We do not have a lot of money. I got a lot of financial aid and that's why I owe like $18,000. Yay, American education! So we had a scholarship that my mom told me about that we ended up applying to. She was the union president at her job. I've mentioned this plenty of times before. My mom's a librarian, and she was on the union at her library and the union president for 7-8 years. She's in the other room, and I don't want her to yell out the correct number. So we're gonna say like 7-8 years, maybe 9. And the union had like section of it in like the grand scheme of things that was like a little scholarship board, and it was anybody's like children that were in the union. They didn't have to be union presidents. It was just anybody in the union that could apply, their children could. And it was, I don't remember how much it was. I want to say maybe like $15,000, but it was split up between a few people. They always split it up between like 3 to 4 kids, and then it just, you know, depended. And it was an essay that you had to write, and like they had like kind of question prompts that you had to answer throughout your essay. So it wasn't like a regular essay with like MLA format, intro, paragraph, you know, 3-body, conclusion. It was just kind of answering the question prompts, a quick little introduction, and that was it. And I don't exactly remember what the questions were, but some of them were like, why do you feel that you should like be able to get this scholarship? Like, why should we pick you? And it was something along those lines, and I just remember being like, in so many words, like, I need money, please give me this scholarship. And it was like, one of them was like, how did you hear about this scholarship? And I was like, my mom is in the union and we're poor. That's how we heard about it. I think I remembered too being like very anxious, like sitting at the family computer just like typing this and hoping that we were gonna get any kind of money, because we needed it, and college and senior year is very expensive for like very silly reasons. I feel like there's a lot of random crap that you have to pay for your senior year of high school, and it's stuff that like doesn't ever matter again. But we paid so much money for senior year, and we were already having money trouble, and it was like a whole thing. It was a nightmare. So I was desperately like, please give me money. I'm very small, and I have no money, so you can understand the kind of stress I'm under. Essentially that. So then the scholarship board like decided or whatever, and there were 2 other kids that got it. I was obviously the 3rd one. One of them had like amazing like extracurriculars. They were like valedictorian, they were like class president. It was crazy. And the other kid had like fantastic grades and were in like academic extracurriculars, like debate club and like things like that. Like just doing great, shining star, both of them. And then I obviously was the 3rd one. And like I said, I don't remember exactly how much money there was, but the other 2 kids got more out of the 2 of us. I think the other 2 kids got $3,900, and I think I got, I want to say $3,500 or just $3,000. It was like a good amount of money, but it wasn't like a super lot, and it also wasn't like towards my tuition or my room and board. It was like money for me to buy like dorm stuff and have like spending money and stuff for my college. It was an interesting scholarship, and I think I prefer that scholarship compared to like one towards tuition personally, because I was able to buy a bunch of stuff for my dorm. Anyway, one of the guys like on the scholarship like board saw my mom. He was like at our town library for whatever reason, and he saw my mom and went up to her and was like, oh, like, Patricia, like, good to see you, da-da-da. Your daughter's essay was hilarious. And Mom was like, oh, like, that's interesting. Like, did she, like, get, like, accepted? And he was like, oh, yeah, she was definitely accepted for the scholarship. She was so funny. We have never read an essay that was that funny before. Now, I did not have great grades in high school. Most of my high school career, I was like a C to B average. I didn't really do good in school. I didn't really care about school, so I didn't really do good in school. Senior year, I actually really tried hard. I was taking an AP class, I was taking 2 English classes. We went from 4 classes to 7 my senior year because they were like trying out a new schedule, and of course it had to be like my year that did it. So I tried really hard senior year and I actually did like really well, but most of freshman to sophomore year I just didn't, or freshman to junior year, I didn't really care. So my grades weren't great. There was what was the lowest grade I've ever gotten? It was my chemistry class junior year. I got a D. Your girl's not good at math, and I didn't really care for science other than marine bio, so sorry. So yeah, I definitely didn't get that scholarship because I was good at anything, and the only extracurricular I did was theater, and that we had theater scholarships, and then there was issues with the way they were having us like kind of donate money to our program and everything, so then they got rid of the scholarships because they got rid of us giving money. That's a whole other thing, but yeah, it wasn't because of my extracurriculars and it wasn't because of my grades. It was because I was hilarious, and if you got nothing else going for you, that seems to be the best thing. Ayy. But yeah, that was the story on how I got a scholarship because I was funny. It came up because the way my mom and I take to go to our like closest mall, you can either take the highway or the back roads. My mom and I take the back roads. And when you take the back roads, there's one street that you can either go this way to get onto like the small patch of highway, or you can go this way to drive through the college I went to. And we drove through just to look at everything because there's like a little restaurant there that I absolutely loved. It was so delicious. So we drove through the campus, and I was violently thrust into like flashbacks of trying to walk around. It was also a lot smaller than I remember. It felt very large when I was there and like a little university student and very not okay. But for some reason driving there with my mom in the car, I was like, this is tiny. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. And I was gonna say something else, but there's nothing else to say. I will see you in the next video. Bye! I don't know why my hand's doing a little claw thing.